So the world ended, power's out, and society's gone. All you've got left is your 3D printer, a roll of filament, or a bottle of resin. The question is, which one do you choose in order to survive a zombie apocalypse? PLA or resin? Today we're 3D printing survival tools for the zombie apocalypse. The PLA mace head was printed with 5 walls and 100% rectilinear infill. It's as solid I could get on this 3D printer without summoning Skynet. Why'd I print it that way? Well, I wanted to create as fair of a test as I could with the resin print. Now, the resin mace is 100% solid resin. Normally, I would hollow out the inside to save material, but here's the thing, resin doesn't always cure 100% completely on the inside. Sometimes it stays a little gooey, and since we're smashing pumpkins, not spreading uncured zombie juice, I figured printing it in 100% resin solid would be the best choice. Now let's weigh these mace heads and see how much each of them weighs, because I'm trying to get a really fair test. Okay, let's weigh these. First, the PLA mace head. 8.6 ounces. Now the resin mace head. 8.7 ounces. That's pretty close. I would say that's a pretty fair comparison. Now, I didn't clean these up, mainly because we'd be smashing pumpkins with them, but you could really see the difference in the fact of there are absolutely no layer lines in the resin one, where you see the layer lines in the PLA one. But all in all, they both look pretty solid. So let's get these tested. Wait, did you hear something? Must be my imagination. All right, the undead have risen, and it's time to check out our maker grade survival gear. Let's see how sharp these actually are on the pumpkins. Let's test the spikes out first. You see that PLA is making some pretty deep holes with just tapping it. Let's check out the resin. Remember, they're about the same weight. Making some pretty deep holes. Remember to always wear glasses or safety goggles. First up, good old PLA, cheap, reliable, and if it breaks, you could print another one if you could find power and an outlet that works in between zombie attacks. So first we're going to give it a light tap, and then we'll give it a pretty good smash. That puts some pretty nice dents in there. That's the bigger spikes. Let's look at the smaller ones. And same thing. That actually puts some pretty decent holes in that. Now let's give it a good old whack and see how our PLA holds up. Oh no! So as you can see, it did some nice damage to the pumpkin. It looks like, let me show you guys this up close. It looks like the spikes started to bend, but they didn't really take a whole lot of damage. Let's give it a few more whacks. I'm using the other side now. One more, and I think this pumpkin's done. Oh! There we go. So a little messy, but actually the PLA held up pretty well. It's 5 walls on the outside and 100% infill. Now let's test the resin. A little gift for the squirrels. We can see our resin one's a little more defined. See how it holds up. First couple of light taps. Oh, that went in deep. The smaller ones, pretty deep too. All right, let's give it some hard wax. Oh. Okay, ready? All right, one more. There we go. All right, let's take a look at the resin. It looks pretty good. I mean, these may have been down a little bit from the print. They weren't perfect, but it looks like it held up really well. And the points are relatively still pretty sharp. I'd say the resin dulled a little less. Let's get them together and we can look at them. They actually held up really well, both of them. I would say the PLA got a little bent on the edges, where the resin did not. But overall, they both held up relatively well. They actually both look great, and I would argue that they both pass Newton's first law of pumpkin destruction in zombie apocalypse. Okay, we got 2 more pumpkins left. Let's go to town on them. Last one in resin. That's it. Okay, so which one wins? Honestly, they both held up really good. The PLA was a little bit cheaper to print than the resin. Resin stayed a little bit sharper. PLA lost some of its tips. But overall, both of them will allow you to build an anti-zombie arsenal overnight on your 3D printer. If you enjoy this ridiculous experiment, make sure to hit the like button and make sure you subscribe for other Maker 3D printing experiments. For more on 3D printing, DIY, and Maker projects, make sure you like and follow Maker Build It, and remember, keep on making. Oh, and remember, when the zombie apocalypse happens, make sure you print smart, print strong, and aim. I'm tired. Now let's get out of here before the zombie comes back.